यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। आसन ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So welcome all to the Sunday evening feast program. Today is very auspicious day. Today also being Ekadashi. So we are observing Ekadashi fast today. Today we are discussing from chapter 3. This chapter has been discussed in a sporadic way, a few verses here and there. But now we are starting in a serial from the first sloka. I will read first few slokas, then going forward we will continue that. Okay. Chapter 3, text 1, Karma Yoga, text 1. अर्जुन उवाच जायसी चेत् कर्मणस्ते मता बुद्धिर्जनार्दन तत्किं कर्मणि घोरे तत्किं कर्मणि घोरे मां नियोजयसि केशव त्याजसे चेत् कर्मणस्ते मता बुद्धिर्जनार्दन तत्किं कर्मणि घोरे मां नियोजयसि केशव. Anybody has the text? Arjuna Uvacha. Jayasi ket karmanaste. What about this? Dono. Kim karmasi gore ma. Mam niyojayasi keshava. Arjuna Uvacha. Jayasi chet Tatkim karmani ghore ma Arjuna Uvacha. Arjuna said, Jyajasi, better, Chet, if, Karmanaha, than fruitive action, Te, by you, Mata, is considered, Buddhi, intelligence, Janardana, O Krishna, Tat, therefore, Kim, why, Karmani, in action, Ghore, ghastly, Mam, me, Niyojayasi, you are engaging, Keshava, O Krishna. Arjuna said, O Janardana, O Keshava, why do you want to engage me in this ghastly warfare? If you think that intelligence is better than fruitive work. Arjuna said, O Janardana, O Krishna, why do you want to engage me in this ghastly warfare if you think that intelligence is better than fruitive work? Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, has very elaborately described the constitution of the soul in the previous chapter, with a view to delivering his intimate friend Arjuna from the ocean of material grief. And the path of realization has been recommended, Buddhi Yoga or Krishna consciousness. Sometimes Krishna consciousness is misunderstood to be inertia, and one with such a misunderstanding often withdraws to a secluded place to become fully Krishna conscious by chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna. But without being trained in the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, it is not advisable to chant the holy name of Krishna in a secluded place where one may acquire only cheap adoration from the innocent public. Arjuna also thought of Krishna consciousness or Buddhi Yoga or intelligence in spiritual advancement of knowledge as something like retirement from active life and the practice of penance and austerity at a secluded place. In other words, he wanted to skillfully avoid the fighting by using Krishna consciousness as an excuse. But as a sincere student, he placed the matter before his master and questioned Krishna as to his best course of action. In answer, Lord Krishna elaborately explained Karma Yoga or work in Krishna consciousness in this third chapter. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामीति नामने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we saw that in the second chapter, as described by Srila Prabhupada in the beginning of the purport, Lord Krishna systematically and scientifically explains the original position or the actual identity of the living entities. In the preface also we'll see, he says, Prabhupada writes that one must understand his factual position. One must understand his actual position. We have misunderstood our actual position. We have taken up another position which is not ours. Correct? That's why there is so much of anxiety. Prabhupada explains why there is anxiety. Anxiety comes in when you land in a foreign land. Correct? When you are in a new place, there is so much anxiety. You don't know what to do, you don't know where to go, so there is so much of confusion. So when you are in your own place, then there is no much of confusion. So when we are in a foreign land, it is expected there will be confusion. So we are so much confused and so much anxiety because we are in a foreign land. So our original land is the spiritual world. So this is a foreign land for us, foreign place for us. That's why there is so much of anxiety. That is the reason. And also, after describing the constitutional position of the soul, that is his position as the living entity, as the spirit soul, Lord Krishna goes on to explain how must one regain his original constitutional position. So we are in a position where we have come far away from our actual position. We have forgotten our own position and we have taken up a false position. That's why there is so much of confusion. And also along with confusion there is so much of misery, material grief. Okay. It says, in the previous chapter, Lord Krishna describes his original position with a view to delivering his intimate friend Arjuna from the ocean of material grief. So purpose is to relieve him from the material grief and misery. That is the purpose. So with this, then Lord Krishna explains that, and Arjuna is taking that lesson as an excuse to avoid this fighting. So in technical language, the lessons in the previous chapter are called as Buddhi Yoga. Krishna explains Buddhi Yoga or Krishna consciousness. And Arjuna is asking here, when you say that intelligence is better than action or fruitive work, that means intelligence according to him was just to retire. Intelligence means you don't have to do anything. Just retire, think philosophically and sit in a quiet place and meditate. If that is higher, then why are you pushing me into this ghastly warfare? Where I have to kill my own kinsmen, my own relatives? Why you want to push me into this warfare? That is the question raised by Arjuna here. And later in the further shlokas, it's clearly mentioned. Krishna clarifies what is the position. And to the end of the purport, Arjuna, Lord Krishna, the Srila Prabhupada explains the merit of Arjuna, or what was his qualification. The qualification of Arjuna was not that he was not confused. Now, was not that he was clear in what he wants to do. So that is not expected from a student also. When you becoming spiritual, we don't expect you to know all of it. Correct? So, but what is expected is the attitude and the approach in which you come into Krishna consciousness, how you want to make progress. So Arjuna did not know things. He was unsure of many things. But his qualification was, he submitted his doubts and himself to Lord Krishna. कार्पण्य दोष पहतो स्वभाव पृच्छामि त्वां धर्म सम्मूढ़ चेता यच्छ्रेय सानिश्चितं ब्रूहितं मे शिष्यस्ते हम शादि माम त्वां प्रपन्नम. Oh Lord, my dear Lord Krishna, I am fully confused. Karpanya dosha pahata swabhava. I don't know what to do. So can you please describe to me in detail, in precisely what is good for me, what is for my Shreyas. You know there are two benefits, Preyash and Shreyas. Preyash is a temporary benefit and Shreyas is a long-term eternal benefit. So Arjuna wanted Shreyas, and he had the humility and the submissiveness to approach Krishna and tell him that actually I don't know. In the previous few verses, he tries to give some explanation. Oh, this should not be done. If we kill them, then the ancestors will be gone. If the elderly members are gone, then nobody will be, the culture will go, women will get degraded, this and that. He gives explanation why he should not fight. But later, after giving subtle explanation, he admits that actually I don't know. That's how, in the beginning, we try to put up our own intelligence and tell this and that. But actual learning will happen when we say we don't know. So this is what Arjuna does here. And that qualifies him to receive spiritual knowledge. So because of that attitude, Krishna shows his mercy upon him and explains further. Okay, today we will see what is this Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi Yoga and how it should be understood in the proper sequence, proper way. Srila Prabhupada explains in a simple way, Buddhi Yoga means utilizing our intelligence in advancing in Krishna consciousness. Or yoga means connecting. Comes from yuj dhatu, connecting oneself to the Lord. Or connecting the soul, that is ourselves, to the Lord. That is yoga. And yoga can be done in several ways. We have Buddhi Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. The prefix, there are two things, prefix and suffix. Prefix is like Karma Yoga. There are two words, Karma and Yoga. The previous one is the medium of yoga. How you want to connect, you can put a through in between there. Connecting through karma or via karma is Karma Yoga. Connecting to Lord via Jnana is called Jnana Yoga. Connecting oneself to the Lord via Ashtanga Yoga is called Ashtanga Yoga or Asanas. And connecting oneself to the Lord through Buddhi or intelligence is called as Buddhi Yoga, where one utilizes or engages intelligence in connecting himself to the Lord. Intelligence everyone has, even small animals, and everybody has some intelligence. Prabhupada writes, even the trees have intelligence. For example, wherever there is a knot in a tree, along the bark there will be some knots. Knots. Wherever there is a knot, the branch won't come out there. It will move on to the next little bit ahead and then come out from a place where there is no knot. Correct? So you ever try blocking an ant? It will find its way. Correct? So every species has its own adaptive skill. There is some intelligence. Correct? Of course, at different gradations, different level. In the animal level, the intelligence is just sufficient to maintain its body. For eating, sleeping, defending, mating, it is engaged, sufficient for that purpose. So intelligence is utilized. And human intelligence is more advanced and more sophisticated. It is being utilized. So everybody in the world is using his intelligence for one or the other purpose. And whatever we see around here, this microphone, this book, this cloth, this building, our own clothes that we are wearing, everything that we see is a product of the use of human intelligence. Correct? Sometimes I ask people, what do you do? So yesterday I met a friend. He told, what do you do? I work for Samsung. What do you do there? So I am working in a camera department where they have this in the phone. So they are improvising the precision, the quality. He is doing a lot of, there is a full team of people who are working on the camera of the computer. Correct? On the mobile phone. So like this, intelligence is earlier. What was the phone? It's a small handset, right? Only call-in facility was there. Now with use of intelligence, they have come up with new things on every sphere. Not that only now that people have become extremely intelligent, so they are doing sophisticated things. So intelligence has been there from time immemorial. As and when, ever since the human society was there, intelligence always been there. In fact, it was more sophisticated, advanced before. Now we construct buildings which don't last for 70 to 80 years. But earlier people would construct buildings which will last for 1,000 years. Have you heard of Ellora Ajanta? So Ellora is a monolithic temple. Ellora temple, entire temple is from a single rock. They have carved entire structure out of single rock. And interestingly, the construction began from top. Usually we start from the foundation. So because you can't dig at the bottom, so they started from the top. First they did the tomb, that kalasham, then everything. And there is a proportion. What should be the height? There is a proportion to everything, right? The first floor, and then everything is paka according to Shastra, Vastu Shilpa. So they could, with such great precision, they would do it. It took several years, maybe more than 100 years, but there was precision. So the intelligence has always been there. In warfare, there has been intelligence. If you see, if you visit the places and hear stories of what all techniques, in terms of warfare techniques, in terms of economics techniques, all things were there. Production, everything was there. Intelligence has always been used. But the question is, for what purpose is the intelligence being used? Prabhupada addresses this in a wonderful lecture. He says, most of the people, intelligence can be used for either purpose. Intelligence can be used to come towards Krishna, to connect oneself to Krishna, that also can be used. And the same intelligence can also be used to go away from the Lord. Yes? So, or to enhance material comforts. Intelligence is nowadays used to enhance our material comforts. How to stay in a better accommodation, how to have better driving facilities, how to have better communication facilities. So they are all at the bodily level. So we want to talk to each other about how are you, we want to eat foods, we want to stay in a place. So all these basic facilities. And intelligence is being used to provide oneself more and more advanced facilities for bodily maintenance or also for sense gratification. How to enjoy more and more. Correct? So there are new methods of intelligence. But the real use of intelligence should be for the purpose of connecting to the Lord. So one must use his analytical skills or what you call rational skills to see what should be done, what should not be done. So that is the purpose. So Arjuna is thinking that intelligence means you just sit and think about the Lord and about, even though in fact he is saying little somewhat spiritual, at least it's not even gross utilization, but that also Krishna discourages. Then Krishna goes on to impress upon him the need to work. In fact, the entire purpose of telling Bhagavad Gita was to invoke or was to inspire Arjuna to get to work. What was the purpose and speaking entire Bhagavad Gita? Arjuna didn't want to fight, he wanted to go back. So Krishna had to speak entire philosophy to make him work. That is the purpose. And again the same work can be done. One can do work to enhance his material bondage. Work can be done to enhance his bondage, or also work can be done to deliver himself from the bondage. Same work will do, but a work, whether we have to see the work, whether it is binding me or it is delivering me. So same, you have to be very intelligent to see what work binds us and what work delivers us from material bondage. And the intelligence, proper use of intelligence is to engage in those works which will deliver us, and to avoid those works which will bond us further and further in this material world. So that is the clarity one needs. And apparently, fighting a battle may look very ghastly. Arjuna says, what a activity you are engaging me in. It is totally sinful. I am killing people. It's very sinful. I don't want to do it. But Lord Krishna speaks the philosophy that what work is pious, what work is not pious is not judged by sentiment. It has to be judged by what Shastra says, what dharmic principles speak about. For example, for a Kshatriya to engage in warfare, this is dharma. It is not a sinful activity. Correct? So it has to be done. In the material world, people have to be controlled, and certain amount of violence has to be used or applied to maintain law and order in the society. If there is no application of violence, then you can't expect peace and even basic mannerism. People won't behave themselves. Correct? They won't behave. There will be misbehavior and there will be breaking of the law. To maintain law and order, the Kshatriya engages in warfare or in acts of violence. This is required. And in what spirit that has to be done? That's also mentioned. That has to be done in the spirit of renunciation, without attachment. That is the nature of work. That should be the attitude in which one engages in those activities. Okay. Then he says, Buddhi Yoga or Krishna. Sometimes Krishna consciousness is misunderstood to be inertia, just sitting idle. It's not inertia. Krishna consciousness means action. Action in service to the Lord. So action, what kind of action one has to be done? Action in the service of Krishna, that has to be done. But without being trained in philosophy, if one simply sits idle without doing anything, he may acquire some cheap adoration by innocent public. Okay, he is a sadhu, he is just sitting idle. People may admire him, but that is not actual dharma. That is not, he is just imitating, or he is maybe escaping also. Yeah. And sometimes like retirement from active life and the practice of penance and austerity at a secluded place. In other words, he wanted to skillfully avoid the fighting by using Krishna consciousness as an excuse. But as a sincere student, he placed the matter before his master and questioned Krishna as to his best course of action. He has the humility to question Krishna what has to be done. So that gives room, that gives some facility for the guide or the master to help him. So unless we approach the Guru about what can be done, so Guru doesn't have space to help us. Agree? Otherwise, how will the Guru help us? We should have the humility to approach. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanena tattva darshanam. That is why the first step in spiritual life is to approach a spiritual master. Ado Guru Charanashraya. That is the first lesson. First you surrender to the lotus feet of Guru. Then you question from him about what is good, what is not good. So what has to be done? You question from him. Then you ask him relevant questions and then serve him. Only then the Guru has the facility or the space to help us in our what can be done about this. Okay, we'll see the next sloka. My intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. Therefore, please tell me decisively which will be most beneficial for me. Arjuna is now in a confused state. He doesn't know whether I should go ahead with this or that. So I am in a confused state. So please tell me precisely which will be the most beneficial for me. So in several places it is mentioned how people have misunderstood what is beneficial for him and what is not beneficial, and most people have felt or have somehow concluded that accumulation of material assets and enhancement of one's enjoyment, sense indulgence, and accumulation of all that helps in his sense gratification is what is actually beneficial for him. So just accumulation of property at least in the present context. Correct? What is that? Bahirartha manina. What is the shloka, Prabhu? Bahirartha manina. Prahlad Maharaj speaks na that. Andhaya tander upaniya manas. Tepi shutantre urudamni baddha. People do not know that Bahirartha manina. They feel that people external accumulation will actually benefit them. But they don't know that the real artha is in Vishnu. It starts with Nate vidu swartha gatim mi Vishnu. Durashayaye bahirartha manya. Nate vidu swartha gatim Vishnu. They do not know that the real benefit is in Vishnu. In in surrendering to Vishnu and serving Lord Vishnu. Nate vidu swarthagatim Vishnu. Durashayaya bahirarthana. So they feel that bahirartha, external accumulation, external things will actually what? Benefit them. So that is the tragedy. So this is because of lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge. So this excessive and over, it is increasing. So first of all, from the very beginning, in present situation, at least in Kali Yuga, from the very beginning, people do not have any facility to understand these truths. The moment we go to school, we are just taught alphabets, some basic mathematics, and we go on accumulating more and more material knowledge, which is related to the material world. So there is hardly any information or schooling on spiritual truths, which is a tragedy, correct? And we continue in the same ignorance, and we grow with that, and we conclude that this is what it is. So people are taught the same thing, and unfortunately at home also there is no facility. There is no facility. And in spite of so much of facility given by the Lord in the Shastra, in the form of so many systems, so still people are weaned from this facility. That is a misfortune. But somehow, by Krishna's mercy, by the mercy of Guru and Acharyas, few of us get connected. There is some facility, but people do not know. Do not know. There is a classic phrase in the introduction. There is complete facility for the small complete units to understand the complete. There is complete facility for the small complete units, that is the living entities, to understand the complete. Complete is the Lord. And all sorts of incompleteness in our lives, like misery, ignorance, disturbance, and all sorts of incompleteness in our lives is experienced due to incomplete knowledge of the complete. So there is facilities there. Nobody can say there is no facility. There is Bhagavad Gita, there are the spiritual institutions, the acharyas are there. The facility is there for us to understand the complete. That is the Lord. There is facility. But because either we are not given access, or we are so engrossed or dull-headed that we don't have intelligence to approach it. And sometimes even the covering of Maya is so thick. Maya means illusion. Illusion is so thick that we don't even we can't even pierce through it to approach the spiritual truths or even institutions. So people are so much enamored, so much absorbed in bodily centered activities that they don't even feel that it is required. They don't feel that it is required to practice spirituality. They say, is it required? Will life stop without learning Bhagavad Gita? They feel there is absolutely no need of these things. I am well off without any spirituality. I can continue. In fact, one can go on. So one gets a salary, he is able to make some money, he has a family to take care of, and he has nice facilities around him, so much loving people, this and that. And he can spend entire day, entire week, entire month, entire year and entire life without any spiritual culture or practice. Possible? It can be done. But does it help him in any way? People are not able to see the point. And also forget about urgency. There is a great urgency to catch it up. Correct? For a living entity, there is a great urgency to use this facility and for his own betterment or for his own protection from this danger. Forget about urgency. They don't even feel the necessity to get in any way connected to the spiritual atmosphere or spiritual knowledge. That is a tragedy. Okay. Because of that covering of Maya or illusion, people are fully cut off from what is beneficial for them. That's why in the Bhagavatam it's mentioned that Kali Yuga people are so unfortunate that forget about being merciful upon others. They don't have even mercy on their own selves. People do not have mercy on their own selves. They are cruel upon themselves. It's technically called as Atmaha. They are causing great misery and pain upon themselves. So knowingly or unknowingly, they are causing a great misery upon themselves. Yeah, it's a great opportunity. Human life is a great opportunity. So the Acharya say there are three facilities for the soul. We know the basic philosophy that we are all spirit souls from the spiritual world. Somehow or other, we have come to this material world. Somehow or other. And after having come here, we are suffering. We are suffering, correct? So due to after prolonged suffering, somehow a few of those suffering souls try to understand what is wrong. What is wrong? What is wrong? Correct? So among them who try to understand what is wrong, some of them get a clue of what is wrong. Very light clue. And among those who get a clue, they pursue that process of where I am wrong, what can be done to correct that mistake. So then they get in touch with the Guru and then practice. That's why that is the beauty of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada's presentation was so simple that anybody can understand this complex Vedic knowledge. In one place, Bhakti Swami Maharaj writes that Prabhupada's presentation was so merciful that he can even convince a layman, a simple, even illiterate man, about the essence of the Vedic truths. And Maharaj puts down into 5 points, 5 simple points, very simple points, where you can understand, you can walk through the entire Shastra. You can call it a crash course on the entire Shastric knowledge. Very simple knowledge. So I will mention those 5. It's a very interesting walkthrough of entire philosophy. The first point he mentions is, the moment you close your eyes and open, what do you see? What do you see when you open your eyes? You see surroundings. Correct? You see people around you, you see the sky, you see the stars, you see the cosmos. So when the moment you open your eyes, you see. Then the first question is, what is this? Basic question. What is this? How it has come about? Who has created it? This and this. So we ask questions. What is it coming from? Okay. The first point Prabhupada writes is, what we see around is created by a person who is the Supreme Lord. Whatever you see around emanates from the Supreme Lord, who is Lord Krishna. Okay? The first point is, Lord Krishna is the Supreme Person of Godhead, or God, who has created all that we see before us. Agree? So whatever you see is created by an individual by name Krishna, who is the Supreme Lord. He maintains it, and at the end, it goes back to him. So among the many created things are the universes and also the living entities. Correct? Many things are created. Okay. The first point is the Ishvara. Lord Krishna is the Supreme Person of Godhead, Bhagavan, from whom everything comes. First point. Second point is we. The two things, one is outside of us and another is we. So who are we? Next question. Who are we? We are part and parcel of that Bhagavan Krishna. Like we are children of Krishna. Correct? We are children of Lord. So we are also his children, and we are also residents of that world. Lord Krishna, he is the Supreme Lord. He has a place. He has a place to stay. He has the word where he stays is called as Vaikuntha, or the spiritual world. Lord Krishna is the source of everything. He is Supreme Lord. He stays in a place called as Vaikuntha, which is far away from here. And second point is, we are also children of that same Supreme Lord. We are children of him, and we also belong to that world. That is our home. That is our home. Okay? That is second point. Third point is, among the souls, there are innumerable souls. Like one parent has many children. One parent has 4, 5, 6, whatever number of children he has. So Lord Krishna as a parent has many children. All the children are staying with the Lord there in the spiritual world. Among those souls, among those innumerable souls, trillions and trillions of souls, a few souls, among the totality of souls, a few souls want to be separate from Krishna, from the Supreme Lord. They want to enjoy independent of him, separately from him. They want to enjoy separately from him. Such souls are being sent to the material world. This is another place. Correct? And this place is also compared to a kind of a prison house. Because they have offended the Lord, for that they have to undergo a tenure of punishment and reformation. So they have been sent out to the material world. So first point, Lord Krishna is supreme, everything comes from him, he is a maintainer of everything. Second point, we are also his parts and parcel, his children. We are also staying in the same place as spiritual world. Third point, among all the souls who are staying there, a few of them want to enjoy separately from Krishna. They don't want to stay with Krishna. So a separate place has been created for them. Like for the offenders of law, a prison has been created. A separate place has been created for them, and that place is this material world. They have been sent here. After coming here, though among, let's say there are 100 souls, for example, among them, let's say 15 of them want to stay separately from Krishna. They are offended. So those 15 have been sent to the material world. So after coming here, they have to accept material bodies, one after another. The soul after comes here has to accept body after body, numbering 84 lakh species. 84. Among them there are several aquatics, several insects, then trees, reptiles, birds, insects, worms, animals, then human beings, all put together is 84 lakh species. Not all of them may stay on earth. Many of us start looking for them, 84 lakh of them here only. They are spread across the universe, entire universe, all over. Okay, they have to take body after body, several bodies. And in that course of time, they undergo the happiness and miseries in those bodies. Correct? So, we know best how miserable or enjoyable is bodies in this material world. Is it really enjoyable and fun being a dog, being a hog, being a donkey, being a lion, being a tiger? Is it really enjoyable? We say tiger is the king, lion is the king of the forest. He is like royal life. No, it's not royal. Several times it has to fast. Correct? So, not that every time he gets a prey. The deer will not come to its mouth and please eat me. He has to fight for it. And several times they die for want of water, they die for want of food. And sometimes they have to eat stale food, which is left over. Several day after day, sometimes they don't get meat, they don't get prey. So it's a miserable condition. So they go body after body, they keep on going body after body, they keep on suffering. And after going through every single body, 84 lakh species, the soul comes to material, to the platform of human body. Human body is also one of them. She takes this human body, which is a great opportunity. Intelligence advanced, and there is a facility to think about who is he, where did he come from, what is the problem, why he is suffering. He can make these questions. But this is the question. Then the next point. So very few of them, after going through the entire cycle of all the bodies, he comes to human form. Next point is in human form. Most of the souls continue the same activities that they were doing previously. Earlier they were eating, sleeping, defending, mating. The same thing they continue in human life also. But among them, all of them, very few of them, many of them continue the same animalistic activities. Very few of them start questioning about their existence, about their identity, why they are suffering. They start questioning why they are suffering. So among those who question, very few of them come to the right path. That's where they come in touch with the spiritual master. Brahmanda Brahmate Kauna Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasada Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. After wandering, very few fortunate souls come in touch with the bona fide spiritual master, where they inquire and they get information about the actual truth. Where he comes from, what is he, what mistake he has done, and what has to be done to correct it. So when he inquires that, then he gets the process. Then he gets information on the guidance about the process that has to be followed to rectify all the mistakes that has been done and recover or regain his actual original position. And the last point is, what is that process and who is that guru? The acharya who comes in a bona fide parampara is the bona fide guru, and the process he has given is the Bhakti Yoga or the yoga, path of yoga. And in Kali Yuga, specifically for us, the process of delivering ourselves or getting free from this material entanglement is the process of chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is how Srila Prabhupada somehow has put everything in one place in a simple, understandable way. Does it make sense? So this is how the whole truth about spirituality. And Lord wants to help us. The Lord is very eager to help us and has given several facilities. The Lord again and again gives facilities to us to regain us, to take us back to the spiritual world. They say there are 3 facilities. The first facility is the birth of a human life. It's a great facility. For the soul, it has to go up after going through several forms of life, it comes to human life. Human life is a great facility. Durlabho manusho deho dehinam kshana bhangurah tatrapi durlabham manya vaikunta priya darshanam. It's very rare to get human form of life. Very rare. Okay. And even though human life is rare, even more rare than human life is a human life where one comes in touch with a spiritual master or Vaishnavas. There are so many human beings, but how many of them are in touch with Vaishnavas? Tatrapi durlabham manya Vaikunta Priya Darshanam, who comes in touch with Vaishnava and gets the path of bhakti. So that is even more fortunate. So one first opportunity is human life. Second opportunity is human life where one comes in touch with spiritual saintly persons, and he gets this path of Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, it's very, very difficult to cross this ocean. We again become submerged, and again we are thrown back into this cycle over and over again. People don't know. That's why they are suffering again and again. So I'll end with the 3 shlokas from Bhagavatam, which will give the entire picture of what is happening here. It is from the first canto, 7th chapter, 5, 6, 7. The first verse is Yaya sammohito jivo atmanam trigunatmakam paropi manute anartham tatkritam chapi padyate. It says, being bewildered by the illusory potency of the Lord, that is illusion, one forgets his actual identity and identifies himself with the material world, and then undergoes several innumerable miseries which actually does not deserve to undergo. It doesn't deserve to undergo suffering, but because of his misidentification or being covered by illusory energy, he undergoes several miseries by taking birth, body after body. Yaya sammohito jivo, sammohita, being bewildered by illusion. Yaya sammohito jivo atmanam trigunatmakam paropi manute anartham tatkritam chapi padyate. Now what is the solution? This is our position. Even though we are servants of Krishna, part and parcel of Krishna, being covered by this illusion. How does illusion work? 2 energies. Avaranatmaka Shakti, Prakshepatmaka Shakti. Avarana means covering. Somebody is there, like put some anjana. Then you are under his trap. Then you have to do whatever I say. Correct? You are under my grip. You are under my illusion, influence. Similarly, the illusion energy has put an influence upon us. Avaranatma, we are covered by that illusion energy. We completely identify ourselves, this world, this body, this is me. We forget spiritual identity, everything spiritual. We just become illusioned by this. Being covered by this illusion, the living entities are suffering, even though they do not deserve to suffer. Agree? We are not supposed to suffer. We are supposed to enjoy with the Lord in the spiritual world. But we are made to suffer because of this illusion. Next, what is the solution now? What to do? We are stuck. We are suffering. What to do now? Next says, anarthopashamam dharmyam. This can be removed. This suffering, this artificial covering of illusion can be removed. Anarthopashamam dharmyam. How? Bhakti yogam adokshaje. This illusion, this suffering, this misery can be removed by devotional service to the Lord. Bhakti yogam adokshaje. But lokasya janato vidvams. But the people do not know this. Even though this is the solution, people do not know this. How many people know in Bangalore? How many people know that this is the solution to miseries? So they are searching around for miseries in so many places. They are searching, going for entertainment, going for this, that, so many solutions they are finding. Are they getting solution? No. They are getting further and further entangled. Lokasya janato vidvams chakre satvata samhita. People do not know this. That's why for those who do not know this, Chakre Satvata Samhita, Lord Vyasadeva has mercifully created this book called as Satvata Samhita, that is Bhagavad Purana. He has written this book, he has given the Shastras for those who do not know this. And how do benefit from this? We said we are suffering because you don't know, and people, because you don't know that Bhakti to Lord Krishna is the solution, he has created this text. And how to follow this, how to benefit from this? Yasyam Vaishryamanayam Krishne Paramapurushe Bhaktir Utpadyate Pumsa Shoka Moha Bhayapaha. By giving a oral reception, but hearing this transcendental knowledge of Bhagavata and the Bhagavad Gita, knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, one can end all his miseries. First of all, he will be delivered from misery. Then suddenly, immediately, the feelings of devotional service, feeling of devotion to the Lord will arise in the heart. So this has to be cultivated. So this is the message that the Shastra gives, the Acharyas come and give again and again. But unfortunately, in the modern scenario, because of this covering of illusion, so much of excessive stress on bodily identification, bodily gratification, people are not accepting this process. And Srila Prabhupada and Acharyas come again and again to remind us that this is your original position. So they come and remind, and the preachers come and tell us again and again. So please come to this process, come to these programs, hear from Bhagavad Gita, learn what is our identity, what can be done to help ourselves. This is like helping ourselves. What can be done to end this bondage, end this suffering, end this business of taking body after body. Prabhupada said, this is not a good business. Sometimes we become Indra and sometimes we become a eucalyptus tree. Same what he says. Once you are Indra, another time you are eucalyptus tree, because you are changing body after body. So the business of changing body after body will continue until we want to end it. And the process for ending is Bhakti. And at a technical level, at the day-to-day level, what can be done, what should not be done, should be taken from the Shastric point of view, not from our what you call sentiments. And in the later chapter, Prabhupada speaks about Vairagya. We have to work with the sense of detachment. We have to do our work, but we should not be attached to what we do. The two words here, one is Tyaga, another is Vairagya. Sacrifice and renunciation. Which is better? Tyaga is better or Vairagya is better? Huh? Tyaga is better or Vairagya is better? Tyaga is giving up what you have. When you are doing Tyaga, it's not necessary that you are renounced. Vairagya is internal renunciation, detachment from it. One has to cultivate Vairagya, then Tyaga is the side effect or byproduct of Vairagya. Actually, you will give up. But one is giving up with a heavy heart. I am giving my enjoyment, I am giving up my coffee, I am giving my this and that. I am giving my habits. So Tyaga is you are doing with a heavy heart. You are giving and crying over it. That is Tyaga, sacrifice. Correct? You are sacrificing your food or breakfast. It's with a heavy heart. Correct? That is Tyaga. Vairagya is internally you get detached from it. And Tyaga you can just give up, just like that. So one has to cultivate what? Vairagya. So artificial Tyaga will not last long. That's why it says, such a person who is only doing Tyaga without Vairagya from inside is called as what? Pretender. He is doing just, from outside he is doing pretender. He has given up the sense activities, but the desire to enjoy is still deep inside. Desire to enjoy is there. Such Vairagya is called as Markata Vairagya. Markata Vairagya means the Vairagya of a monkey. Monkey is very detached. I will not eat. But until next opportunity comes in, he is a pure vegetarian. Monkey is a pure vegetarian. But he indulges in sense gratification. So Markata Vairagya is artificial. From externally he is showing Vairagya. But internally there are desires inside him. Correct? So one has to give up the desires. For that, the only process is when you cultivate spiritual knowledge, especially the chanting of Hare Krishna. When you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, without any external endeavor, without any separate effort, automatically within us the Vairagya inculcates. Jnana Vairagya, just follow it, Bhakti. Correct? So one accumulates or gets them without any separate endeavor. So when one gets that, naturally he becomes disinterested in sense gratification or material activities. And thereby we have to continue. Working we cannot stop. Correct? That's why it says, whether you want it or not, I will say I will not work, I will just sit idle. Whether you want it or not, everyone has to engage in activities. According to what? According to the modes he has acquired from his previous lives. That's why we say, what are those modes? Sattvagun, Rajogun, Tamogun. So we are all born with a certain combination. Sometimes you see among 10 people, not all are on the same platform. Somebody is very peaceful, he can sit in a place and read a book. There is another fellow who is always disturbed, anxious. He cannot sit idle, he becomes restless if you make him sit in one place. Another fellow is very, very tamasic. He just wants to relax, sleep, he wants to indulge in intoxication. So we see these varieties in human population. Some are very peaceful, sober, very steady. Some are very passionate, they want to earn, they want to achieve, they want to accumulate, very passionate, very strong sex impulse in them, they want to indulge in sense gratification, very passionate people. And some are tamasic, they are in their own world of ignorance, they just drink, they sleep and eat horrible things, tamasic things. So these kind of people we always see. So where are those behaviors coming from? The patterns of behavior, where are they coming from? They are coming from the modes they have acquired from previous lives. And we know, we are all, we know whether I am rajasic, tamasic, or it's a matter of just observing yourself. You observe yourself, you know which category you fit in. Correct? And we struggle with our lives because of those modes. And these modes, in a way, harass us. They drag us into actions. The Rajagun inside will push you into actions. It will push you into action. Do this. Even if you want to sit peacefully, it will push you. It will drag you into activities. And we are harassed by these impulses or these pullings. Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jiva vegam, udaropashta vegam. Vacho vegam, the urge to speak. Something. Urge to do certain things. Urge to become angry. Urge of lust. Urge of hunger. Urge of different urges. Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, urge of anger. Jiva vegam, urge of the tongue to eat different varieties. Jiva vegam, udara upashta vegam, these are the draggings. Sometimes we ourselves are surprised, why did I do this? How often we say something and later we feel I shouldn't have said it. Oh, I shouldn't have said it. But what is being said already was said. And again we do the same thing again. So where is it coming from? That is coming from the urge, that vacho vegam, which is inside us. So artificial control will not happen. So becoming conscious, we see so many techniques. Count 10 when you are angry, then automatically it will reduce. For once or twice it will reduce, but again it will explode in another form. That will not help in the temporary way. The real solution is to solve all these problems at the root. And the root is our conditioning in material world. The moment you treat that root of the problem, all these problems will automatically get resolved. And that solution is the process of bhakti. When you perform bhakti, without our knowledge, these things will get purified and rectified. That is the solution. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. The point I want to convey is, like, intelligence has to be utilized. But the intelligence has to be utilized to come near to Krishna, to advance towards Krishna. Intelligence should not be used to go away from Krishna. Yeah? And one should use intelligence to know or to discriminate what he should do, what activities will help him deliver from this material world, and what activities will make him again remain engaged in this material world, entangled. So we should identify the activities that will entangle us and the activities that will deliver us, and we should indulge in activities that will deliver us, and avoid the activities which will entangle us. So that is simple thing. Yes, bro. You have something to ask? Yes, bro.
You said the 5-step thing, right? How to further.
Yes, bro.
First thing you said was the entire cosmos is created.
Yes.
Somewhere else during the lecture I observed that there is a lot of illusion and Maya.
Yes.
So why did he create Maya?
Okay, why did he create Maya? That's a good question. So why did he create illusion in the first place? The reason is we wanted to imitate Ishvara. We wanted to become, or we wanted to forget Krishna. So Krishna creates a facility of forgetfulness. For example, if I want to become a king, if I want to enact a king, a position of a king in real terms, that means I will have to forget that I am not a king. You can experience that kingly approach or kingly thoughts only when you forget that you are not the king. You are not a king, but you want to become a king. So for that, some forgetfulness is required. To facilitate our desire, or to come true our desires, to imitate Ishvara or become Ishvara, some amount of illusion is required. If I don't put in illusion, it is not possible to put us in that position where you want to imitate. I can give an example. Let's say this is just a hypothetical example. Let's say there is a boy in Bangalore, son of a very rich family, rich father, very rich father, and his father has many enemies, and a few enemies of this father want to trouble the father by giving some problem to the son. So they make a plan to kidnap the boy and they take him to another place. Let's say Bombay. They will take him to Bombay, and in Bombay they want this boy to work as a laborer. Okay. So if you ask him do the labor, will he do labor? If you go and instruct him do labor work, you are a laborer, will he do it? What will he say? Why should I do labor work? I am son of a rich man. I'll just call and he will take me back, and I can just I don't need to work as a laborer. Now what has to be done to make him work as a laborer? What should be done? To hit him, beat him, make him forget that he is son of that rich man. The moment you make him forget, he will very happily engage in labor work because he has forgotten who is he. So this element of illusion is required to imitate Ishvara for us. Otherwise, we will not be fully participating in that role. Now, here is there anybody doubtful of that he is belong to the material world? They are fully convinced. The people in this world are fully convinced that they are the body. That I am the doer, I am the creator, I am the enjoyer. They are fully convinced. Nobody is confused about this. If there is confusion, then they cannot participate fully in full-fledged happiness, correct? So to be fully absorbed in Maya or to imitate Ishvara, one has to forget his identity. This identity illusion is created by the Lord to facilitate that imitation. And again, it is also a system where, let me tell you this. So for what purpose this universe was created? There says there are two purposes. That's called as Utaya. In Bhagavatam 10 topics, Sarga, Atra Sarga, Visarga, Sthanam, Poshana, Mutaya, Manvantara, Ishanakanta, Nirodha, Mukti, Rashya. 10 topics of Bhagavatam. Like Bhagavad Gita has 5 topics. Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala and Karma. Ishvara God, Prakriti, Ishvara Jiva. We, Prakriti, Kala, Karma. The 5th topic of Bhagavatam is Utaya, the impetus or the impulse for creation. Why did he create this world? The Bhagavatam says there are 2 reasons why this world was created. First reason was to give a facility to live in illusion of his identity and live in the illusion that he is master. First is a facility for enjoying or facility for imitating Ishvara. Second is a facility for reformation or realizing and correcting his mistakes. So what for jail is given? Jail is created to punish and also to reform. Why do you put him in jail and put him in certain miseries? So they don't give mega feast in jail every day. So the salt will be less, food will be austere. Why? If you give them good food, then they will stay there only. That becomes a hostel. That doesn't become a jail. That becomes a luxury hotel. Correct? So they are given the misery. They are given food without salt, so much of misery, so that they want to exit from there. The miseries of this material world are given to the soul to make him exit from this world. And that is the beauty of Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is best of all the ages. Why? Because in other ages, life is so cool and so peaceful that you don't feel the need to exit from this here. Because you can live Brahminical lives peacefully, or sitting nice atmosphere, so much of greenery everywhere, like a nice environment, everything is pakka. You can sit and live peacefully, no much misery in the previous ages. But in Kali Yuga, it's really intense. Why it's intense? Because the beauty of Kali Yuga is, in Kali Yuga, you can really feel the pressure of material existence. How pressing and how intense or how painful is material existence you can feel in Kali Yuga. And when you feel that heat, then it makes you desire to exit from here. In one sense, misery is an advantage. Correct? So it depends on how you look at it. That's why there's a difficult times. How a difficult, a weak mind will look at difficulties as a pain and you will suffer and cry. Oh, it has come upon me, difficult has come upon me. Okay, you look at it as a pain. An average mind will look at difficulty as a challenge. You will fight it out. Let me resolve it. Let me fix it. You will fight it out. Average mind. But a strong mind will look at difficulty as an advantage or an opportunity. That's where the stronger mind or the more intelligent people. So we should look at misery as an opportunity to see that there is misery in this world and think back on those points and I better exit. So this illusion is required to filter us out or to remove the traces of contamination from our heart. Because without illusion, this world will not work. There will be a breakdown. Imagine everybody is confused. Wow, whether I am material or spiritual, there is so much. And you will never, people will not be able to participate with full involvement. You can participate with full involvement in material world only when you fully forget what you are. That forgetfulness is absolutely required to imitate Ishvara. Otherwise, you cannot imitate. You will be in you'll be like one person who knows his past life and present life. He doesn't know who is his parents and past life memory. It can be, and it's mercy. Now we have taken many births, correct? Sometimes we see, oh, I don't remember what happened in the past. I was somebody in past life, right? So I have taken birth after this. The Bhagavatam says it is the mercy of the Lord that He has made you forget. Imagine you remember both lives. Past life, this life. Past life I was in Mysore and this life I am in Bangalore. Whether you have to settle in Mysore or Bangalore, you are fully frustrated, devastated. Good that you forget everything. We can focus on this life. That is the point. Does it answer, bro? Yeah. Hare Krishna. Yeah. Then? Yeah.
So, even soul desires, now he goes to meditate. What is my position? Then why this illusion is carries over?
Why this?
Illusion.
Huh.
Carries over.
Okay, even after understand that I am really servant of Krishna, I want to go from this. Why the illusion continues? So devotees will struggle, na? So we are like a tug of war. One side is our spiritual culture, another is our material pullings. So we are stuck between whether I should go for sense gratification or Krishna consciousness. We are stuck. So the illusion continues to test your determination. Whether really convinced, determined to serve Krishna, or you are determined to. That's why yesterday quote was there, Maya will test you heavily. Before you have to clear a test. Correct? To test your determination to serve Krishna. It will give you so many attractions and allurements. Try to allure you. Still, how strong you are in pursuing it. Yeah? That's why the only point I want to say is Prabhupada gave this message with a sense of urgency. We have to catch that sense of urgency. Almost all the people are nothing to do with it. Very few are connected, but that sense of urgency we don't feel. We can take relaxed mood. But it's very, very important, very, very urgent need to understand the lesson that Prabhupada gave, the Acharya is giving, and implement those lessons and act in a way that will tell you it can be contest to contest. What is Arjuna's problem is not our problem. So action for him was different. Action for us different. But depending on our situation, we should use intelligence to identify which action will help me, which action will bind me, and arrange our lives in such a way. You can make arrangements in your life such a way that everything will help you to connect yourself to Krishna. For example, if you have hearing device, hear about Krishna. If you have some facility, use it for Krishna. At your home, put some pictures of Krishna. So wherever you turn around, you see Krishna. Many devotees have, the moment they open their eyes, they have some facility to see a picture of Krishna. They open their eyes before Krishna. So make some facilities, arrangements, so that we can always remember Krishna. So that is the technique. So that we advance gradually. That is the use of intelligence. Otherwise, the same intelligence can be used to fall off also, or get more and more submerged in Maya, illusion also. Thank you. Hare Krishna.